Alright, we're going to finish up the 5B notes. We're going to start to do graphing by using the intercepts. We cannot really use the old way of doing it, picking those certain points, because this one is saying we must use the two intercepts. So we got to solve for the y-intercept, and we got to solve for the x-intercept. So now, when we're doing this to solve for the y-intercept, we just let x equals 0. So for the y-intercept, we just let x equals 0. Now the equation is 2x minus 4y equals 8. So then I just put in 0 here. Minus 4y equals 8. Now 2 times 0 is nothing, so negative 4y equals 8. Divided by negative 4, I get y equals negative 2. So my first point up here is 0, negative 2. To find the x-intercept, I'll do it on the side here. I let y equals 0. Oops. That's pretty sloppy. Let me write that better. So we're going to do the x-intercept. We let y equals 0. So my equation is 2x minus 4y equals 8. So it'll be 2x minus 4 times 0 equals 8. So again, 4 minus 0 goes away. 2x equals 8. Divide each side by 2, I get x equals 4. So this other point is really 4 comma 0. Then I just need to plot those 2 points. 0, negative 2, 0, go down 2. And then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0. And there's my other point, and there's my line. Notice here's the y-intercept, there's the x-intercept, and those are the 2 points you must graph. If I were to use this point and this point, the graph would be wrong because I'm not using the y-intercept. You must use the intercepts. Okay. Go down to the next one, find the intercepts, and use the intercepts again here. So now, again, to find the y-intercept, we let x equals 0. So I have my equation here, 5 times 0 minus 10 equals 5y. So again, 5 times 0 goes away. Negative 10 equals 5y. I divide each side by 5. Negative 2 equals y. So my first point I'm going to plot is 0, negative 2. To find the x-intercept, we let y equals 0. So now it's going to be 5x minus 10 equals 5 times 0. Now 5 times 0 goes away, but I actually have an extra step. This is a strange question. All the other ones were simpler. I actually have to move the 10 to the other side, don't I? So 5x equals 10, divided by 5, so I get x equals 2. So my other point is 2 comma 0. So I plot my y-intercept, 0, negative 2. Plot my x-intercept, 2, 0. And then I connect my dots, and there's my line. Okay? But again, these questions you don't have to solve for y. Just let x equals 0, y equals 0, and find the two intercepts. Alright, the next question here. Graph the line x equals 3. Now, if you remember from the notes early up there, when it's x equals something, it's a vertical line. So what I must do is I must go to where x equals 3. So 1, 2, 3, that's where x equals 3. And then literally I have to just go up or down. It does not matter what other point I do. I just have to make sure this is a vertical line. So this is x equals 3. I'm going to do this in another color here. So y equals negative 2. This is a horizontal line. So I go to where y equals negative 2, which is right there. And then I just draw a horizontal line. Does not matter what other points I pick. They're all good. And you got to remember that. That's pretty simple. Alrighty. And the last part of here, we're going to find some slopes here. There's a formula. We're going to use this formula. So now, if I let this be the first point, that's x1, y1. This is the second point, so it's x2, y2. And you can reverse it. It really doesn't matter. You get the same slope no matter what. Now the formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So y2 is negative 1. y1 is minus 7. Okay, remember, it's y2 minus y1. So the x2 is 2 minus 8. So this is negative 8 over 6, which reduces to negative 4/3. Now in slope, they always want a simple fraction. They don't want mixed numbers. So an improper fraction is what you're wanting. So my next slope here. This is my first point. This is my second point. So I have negative 2 minus 4 over 1 minus 3. I get negative 6 over 2, which is equal to negative 3. Now, I personally would like to have negative 3 over 1, but the computer is only going to want negative 3. It wants it all the way reduced. Even though, I'll be honest, I like this better. The next one here, we have y2 minus y1. So again, this is x1, y1, x2, y2. So it's going to be 5 minus 5 over negative 3 minus 4, which is 0 over negative 7. 0 over anything is just 0. Now I do want you to notice the two y values are not changing. They're both 5. And so what that means, this equation is really y equals 5, because the y value is not changing. Now if you remember, I just did this a minute ago, y is a horizontal line, isn't it? So horizontal slope is 0. And that will definitely be talked about in the future. You can almost guess this next one here. If I do negative 3 minus 5 over negative 2 minus negative 2, that's plus a positive. Type this on the calculator, I get 0 on the bottom. And this is not defined. You can't divide by 0. And it's almost the opposite of the other one. If you look at negative 2 and negative 2, the equation really for this is x equals negative 2. So this is a vertical line. And when it's a vertical line, its slope is not defined. Okay, that will definitely be reviewed and dealt with again. All right, another way to find slope is to put it into y equals mxb form. The m is what's attached to the x, and that's the slope. And then the y-intercept is the end part here. So what's attached to the x in this one? Well, the slope is negative 4.12, and the y-intercept is the 3 there, so it's 0, 3. Now this is already solved for y, so that's a super easy one. This next one, I have to do a little work, and this is more like the beginning questions. I have to solve for the letter y. So I have to subtract 3x over. So I get negative 4y equals negative 3x plus 8. I'm going to divide everything by negative 4. And so I get y equals 3/4 x minus 2. So what's attached to the x? Well, 3/4 is, so my slope is 3/4. And my y-intercept is the number over here, so my y-intercept is 0, negative 2. All right, I believe in this section they only want the slope, but in 5b they're going to want the slope intercept, so I'm really preparing you for that. Just answer what they ask for. Now I want to show you graphically what is happening in slope here. Now if I do my slope formula like I just did a little bit ago, it's going to be y2 minus y1, so that's 5 minus 3 over negative 3 minus 2. So I get 2 over negative 5, so it's really negative 2/5. That's my slope. But I want to plot these points, and I want to show you something. If I go 2, 3, so that means I go over 2, up 3. There's my first point, 2, 3. Now I'm going to plot my other point, negative 3, 5. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to plot that. That's negative 3, 5. Now I want you to know, if I go from this point, negative 3, 5 to 2, 3, I have to go down 2. I go 1, 2. So if I think about rise over run, I just went down 2, so my rise was negative 2. If I run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I ran 5. And there's my negative 2/5. All right, so it's rise over run. If I have a picture of it, I can just count off the boxes and figure out what the slope is. Without a picture, I have to use the formula like I did up in these questions. I don't have an option. All right, and that is the end of 5A. 5A is not so bad. This last part's a little confusing, but it's not too bad. And then I'll be back soon with 5B.